TEW2020 here. We are here finally for the Great American Bash. I am so sorry that it has taken this long to get this episode out. I've been dealing with a major sickness in my house. I finally am able to talk with actually being understood. I apologize if, there's some heavy breathing or some coughing on this video, but I had to get this out for you guys. I just want to say thank you to everyone who checked in on me and stuff like that, and as well as kept the series and the channel going, obviously in the absence while I was out for a week or so. So without further ado, let's get into the Great American Bash. We're looking for that 10 like goal this time. We're looking for about 100 views on this pay-per-view. Let's see if we can get there, guys. But we're opening up. It's in front of 21,000 people at the Staples Center, and we have a hype package with Paul Heyman's voiceover, talking about War Games in the WCW Championship match, as well as Chris Kanyon versus Sting. Usual hype package here. Every storyline gets advanced. We put everybody kind of on showcase of the rundown of the matches, and we kind of we go right into the show, really hyping up the War Games main event and all the other amazing matches that we have on this show. So let me stop talking and let's get right to the show. In our opening contest, and about that had good heat and decent wrestling, the Dudley Boys defeat Douglas and Bigelow in 12:34 in a tables match where they were able to get the win here. Shane and Bam Bam don't take a loss with a pinfall, which is the important part here. Bam Bam at 55, 65 for Shane, Bubba with a 72, Devon with a 59. Dudley's obviously have great chemistry. Storyline has advanced. Announcing quality lifted the match, and the match got the crowd hotter. This is a great match. Dudley Boys show that they belong, which I figured would happen. Them feuding with Shane and Bam Bam is the perfect introductory feud here in World Championship Wrestling. And it's a tables match here to start the show, get the show kind of going hot. And Shane and Bam Bam don't take a pinfall loss, which doesn't hurt them at all. But the Dudleys still get a positive win in their debut on pay-per-view here with World Championship Wrestling. No complaints out of this. I'm very happy. This is a fantastic opening match. We cut backstage to the Militia talking about War Games, talking about how they have the advantage tonight, and that Guido has come up with a foolproof plan on how he's going to have guys enter into the match. Excuse me. Have people enter the match in order to make sure that they are always on top against the other team, and that they will not let anybody stop the Militia from being the kings of War Games. 69 segment promo, US title storyline has advanced, tag title storyline has advanced, and the Militia storyline has advanced. So good little backstage promo here from the Militia, just really hyping up the War Games match as it is the main event tonight. So this is a match that I did do on Nitro. I apologize that I had to do it again. I had pre-booked it way in advance, and if you don't do something that's pre-booked, it yells at you. So we just did it here as a quick little fill match on the pay-per-view. In a decent match, Rhino defeats Frankie Kazarian in 10:18 by pinfall with a gore. Frankie with a 59, Rhino a 69. Now to quality of the match. Match got the crowd hotter. 65 segment. Again, solid match. Both guys did well. Their storyline's over. Rhino's going to move forward, and so is Kazarian, in two separate roles, obviously. But not much to really say here. Rhino is going to start getting a little bit of a push, moving up the card. So looking forward to that. We get a hype package for Sting and Chris Kanyon, highlighting their feud and how we got to this match. This is a very much prove yourself match for Chris Kanyon. If him and Sting have an amazing match here, Kanyon is going to go into my main event scene very shortly, if he isn't already. And I want to see if Kanyon can really get a big reaction from being with a guy like Sting, even though Canyon's not maybe the biggest heel, just because he's a great in-ring worker. But we're going to see kind of how this kind of unfolds, and we'll see what happens with this match segment. 71 rating on the hype package. Okay, I'm very okay with this. And about the head, fantastic heat and good wrestling. Chris Kanyon defeats Sting in 1741 by pinfall by using underhanded tactics. So we didn't want to give him a clean victory, but he did get the win, so that's very important. 72 rating on the match. Sting with a 73, Kanyon a 66. Sterling has advanced. This feud's not over. I want to have this feud probably go 3 matches, just because I think it's a very important feud for both guys. I'm very okay with this. This is great. Kanyon held his own. I would have loved to seen him got like a 70 in performance, but I can't be beggars or choosers on that. Sting had a 73. That's fine. I don't expect Sting to drop 90s out here. And Sting put the guy over, even though it was dirty. I will admit it was not a clean victory. But we had to have a reason to go back to this match eventually. So, wow, good stuff. Great stuff, guys. We get a backstage promo from Diamond Dallas Page talking about Ken Shamrock and how Shamrock has self-proclaimed himself the most dangerous man in the world, and that he has just been trying to take out and break anybody's bones he can since he's gotten here in World Championship Wrestling, and that that's not going to happen tonight as he's going against the People's Champion, Diamond Dallas Page, here, and tonight, Page is going to slap some respect into Ken Shamrock. 62 overall segment. Quick little promo here just to get the match prior to the match. Okay, and about the head, good heat and decent wrestling. Ken Shamrock defeats Diamond Dallas Page in 10:09 by stoppage when Diamond Dallas Page cannot continue. Shamrock put him in a sleeper, and it's more or less a submission victory, but it's a stoppage, makes it look more dominant. Shamrock a 51, 57 out of Page. Storyline has ended. Shamrock seemed off his game. Now's a quality to the match, and Shamrock's getting better at his gimmick. 57 overall. Good little introduction feud here for Shamrock to World Championship Wrestling. I think there is more meat on the bone with him. Hopefully, now that I've gotten him a little bit better in the ring with stamina, that he can actually do something now. I don't know where that is yet. I'm still piecing that together. But a good win here as Diamond Dallas Page does his job by getting the other superstar over. Good stuff. Great stuff out of this. No complaints here. We get a hype package for the WCW Championship, highlighting Rey Mysterio, Abyss, and Mitchell. More or less, it's talking about how Abyss kind of just self-proclaimed himself the #1 contender, and then ever since then, he has been dominating Mysterio up until this match. And that Mitchell has promised that Abyss will be the WCW champion after tonight because of his size and the fact that he is a monster. James Mitchell did great work. Storyline has advanced and a 70 segment. Let's see how the match does. I'm interested because I kind of set it up in a way that I don't think it's going to get a great rating, but we'll see. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. In an exceptional match, Abyss defeats Rey Mysterio Jr. in 13-10 by pinfall with a black hole slam. Abyss wins the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Abyss with a 70, Mysterio a 91. Storyline has advanced and gained heat. There were times with definite lack of psychology on display. The match tended to drift a little. So the reason I said that this match was going to be maybe a little weird is I made this a domination. I had Abyss just beat the hell out of Mysterio for this match. I wanted Abyss to look the most dominating possible in this match to win the belt. That way I can have a story post this pay-per-view on the rematch potentially, and Mysterio kind of climbing back to have that exceptional match. But this match crushed it. 82 overall. I'm very shocked just because of the notes that I put in there, but I'm not upset. I know a lot of fans were not loving Mysterio as champion. I thought he did okay. But we're moving on to a different direction. Abyss is now our WCW champion, and we'll see kind of how that goes. So, looking forward. And Abyss is your new WCW champion, as him and Mitchell are standing tall in the ring, as a battered and bruised Mysterio is down on the mat. We get a hype package for the Mask versus Indefinite Suspension match. So, just to run this down, a little bit different. I didn't want to fire Buff if you were to lose this match. I feel like that's overdone. So if the Hurricane loses, obviously the mask comes off. If Buff loses, he is on an indefinite suspension that we will get more details on Nitro. So I will give you more details about that if that were to happen. 56 overall segment, just hyping up this match right before the big final blow off of this feud. And in the blow off match, and about to have great heat and decent wrestling, the Hurricane defeats Buff Bagwell in 13:28 with a vertebreaker. Buff is 60, Hurricane 58. Storyline has advanced and ended. Hurricane seemed off his game. They announced quality to the match. Buff and Don are a great pairing. 60 overall on the match. Great match here, guys. Hurricane gets the win, so he still gets to keep his mask. Buff and Don Marie, though, will be having an indefinite suspension. And I will have Heyman address that on Nitro as we go forward with that. But it mainly, so the reason I did this, minus the fact of having a cool stipulation, is I've kind of hit my wall with Buff. I just don't know what to do with him, and I kind of want to just have him go away for a little bit, just so I can kind of get the wheels turning again on what to do with him, and then we can kind of go from there and see kind of where he fits in with the roster at that point. So, good stuff out of these guys, great stuff out of the blow off. And here we go. So Heyman announces that Buff and Don Murray's suspension starts immediately. And actually, it's not on Nitro. I put it here. I'm sorry. So Buff Bagwell's suspension is for 4 months. So that would have him back right before Mayhem, which I'm pretty sure July, August, September. Yeah. So he would be back in October. Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. Like I said, Buff was in just a weird spot for me, and I'm hoping to find something for him down the road. So, Paul Heyman is getting better at his gimmick, so good stuff there out of Paul. We get a backstage promo from RVD, Storm, and the Outsiders discussing War Games. Knowing that Guido's going to have something up his sleeve, they're discussing on who's going to possibly start out the match, as Lance Storm has decided that he will be the man to start the match for the team. As each guy will eventually come into the match overall. But all the storylines have advanced, 69 segment, and we're about to get to the War Games match, guys, and I'll be honest, I am so nervous to see what this rating is going to be, just because there's so many variables to it. It can either be amazing, and I will be the happiest person possible, or it's going to be a terrible rating, and I'm going to be super depressed. So let's just all hope for a second here that this is going to be a great main event for this pay-per-view. All right, I'm gonna hit next segment, and let's hope for the best. Oh, okay. In a good match, the team of Guido, Berlin, and the Militia, so overall the Militia, defeat Lance Storm, Rob Van Dam, and the Outsiders in 25 minutes, 27 seconds when Guido pinned Scott Hall with a Arrivederci. Now, if you remember, all championships were on the line here. So the U.S. champion Guido, if he would have gotten pinned, he would lose the belt to whoever got the pinfall on the other side. And if the Militia win, Ray Gonzalez and Super Crazy are the new WCW Tag Team Champions. Well, now the Militia have all the belts due to this victory. Scott Hall at a 57, Kevin Nash is 72, RVD at 90, Storm is 78, Ray is 63, Super Crazy is 65, Berlin at 53, and Guido at 83. All the storyline has advanced. I had RVD take a stunt bump just to have a big segment to it. 77 rating for the match, so I am so relieved and so happy that this worked out. The Militia is going to be kind of acting as if they were my Undisputed Era, if that some comparison here, guys. But they got the win. They got all the belts. 77 segment rating. Wow, I'm so happy with this. Wow. Okay, let's end this show here. And then just post-match, the Militia standing tall as they have won War Games. 84 segment rating there. Again, all the storylines gained heat in advance. So let's see what we get for an overall rating for the Great American Bash. '78. We increased our popularity in 29 regions. Fantastic stuff. I do have a couple of announcements for the save. So first things first, I do have to cancel the Japan pay-per-view, just because I can't get any of the Japan companies to let me use any of their talent, no matter who I try to trade. So unfortunately, we can't do that one. So I just wanted to kind of bring that to light now. Also, if you noticed, um, some of our older guys kind of fell here. So Buff is out for now 4 months. DDP's been written off TV, and the Outsiders are now written off TV as well. Nash is still going to be with the company, but I will be releasing Scott Hall as of tomorrow, just because he has been a real pain to put people over, and he's done his purpose at this point for what I wanted him for. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on that. I want to say thank you to everybody who's been really pushing me to get this out and checking on me. Like I said, I finally got over the sickness enough to be able to do this. Thank you for your continued support at all times on this channel. And make sure that if you guys do have some ideas, I'm open to everything. Please put them in the comments. I respond to everything. And maybe your idea may not perfectly fit into the mold, but I'll find a way to get it in there somewhere. But like I said, guys, thank you so much. Next Sunday, you'll get your first Monday Nitro post Great American Bash. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.